Weekend, what a beautiful weekend. First weekend of football, and ProView Networks was there to cover Portales and Moriarty on Friday night. Portales comes out with a victory, I think 21-0, and the next day we had Hobbs and Clovis, and what a great game. Sebastian Noel and Brandon Beck did a great job calling the game, and what an atmosphere. Fans in the stands, only parents and kids. We were there. It was exciting. There's a lot of good things happening, and what a great game, a defensive game, 14-10, and a great win for Cal Fullerton for his opening game. But I tell you what, watch this Palmer from Hobbs, New Mexico. I tell you what, really got some eyes. Really had a great game and really showed his skills that day. Then also in Albuquerque, we had Academy and Hope playing, and Hope wins the game, first win for Hope, new coach, and what a day. 14-0, I do believe, but that's just the start. I think looking at our schedule this week, that we've got unbelievable schedule. 20 high school games and 4 college games, and so ProView at its best, doing what it does, is put kids on the air and do those things like that. Our guest for today is going to be Dana Childs. He's going to be coming in, and he's going to have a new show. He's running a little bit late, but what we're bringing to the table this year, he broadcast the first, didn't broadcast, excuse me. He didn't broadcast, but he did the first Bosque Prep cross-country meet. And anyway, we're going to go to a break, and we're going to come back and get Dana back on, and we'll talk more about his new show and his new things.
Ramos, rise and fire. He's fouled.
You know, he used to coach for Del Norte. And
here's Voss all the way with the finish. He'll get the behind the back of the dribble. Tries to go up with the right hand. He changed hands in midair and hot it, sent it away. Wynn doing a really good job denying Chavez. DC hasn't got the ball. Oh, Yeku. Oh. Working against Watson. Oh, look at the spin move.
Ball's loose. DJ Bustos brings it up. Barnes Tompkins, alley-oop. How about it? That was redunculous.
Turnover. Cable to the big fella might try to jam one home.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We got special guest Dana Childs and the new cross-country guru of Albuquerque, and what a great performance you did on that first weekend. Kind of go back a little bit. Well, first of all, just introduce yourself and give us a little Reader's Digest of yourself.
Well, thanks a lot, Steve. Good to be here on the Steve Davis program. Is it true this is the longest continuously running program?
Well, you know what?
What's the thing there?
Hey, Dana, I'm the host today, okay? But thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
it's just an honor to be here.
Let me give you a little update on ProView Networks. Started with Steve Davis with the city of Albuquerque. So it was the first broadcast show that the public access and the community channel used for the deal. Then it evolved into games, 1 game a week. Then it turned out to be doing, now we're up to doing 50 to 60 hours a week, every week of live broadcasts of high school, college, and boxing, and whatever. So it's come a long way. But thanks for bringing that up.
Well, you're welcome, and it is nice to be here. I think this is my first appearance on the Steve Davis Show, so I've been waiting 4 years. So thanks for the invite, and thank you for the assignment on the track and field. I really like track and field. To introduce myself quickly, I did run track and field. I was football, basketball. Track and field, I ran the highs, lows, and the mile relay. I ran the first leg of the mile relay, where we won the gold medal in the state championship. This was in Nebraska a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I have experience with track and field, had a lot of success with it, and it's a great sport. It's so primitive. It's like the earliest of the athletic competitions. It's like, I bet I can get over there before you do. Let's run. So it's such a primitive, timeless athletic event. And I really, really enjoy it. The times keep, dropping, and the distances keep getting longer. So the achievements and the times and distances and things continue to improve. And it's just a lot of fun to be around. So last weekend we were out at the Bosque School, which is another beautiful property here in Albuquerque, for kind of an impromptu cross-country meet with Bosque, Manal, Cuba, and Sandia
the
Pratt.
first in the state.
And that was the first event in the state, so when that whistle
in
blew.
1 year.
I know, Steve.
Almost 1 year.
I know March 11th was, you guys got to finish the state basketball tournament. The rest of us stayed home because of the limited crew that they allowed in there. So it has been almost a year, and I'm a little rusty. And the athletes admitted, and the coaches admitted that they were a little bit rusty too. So we're all kind of getting our sea legs again.
But the nice thing about it, there was excitement, and it was and a sign of a relief that, are we really are we really doing this, or is this going to be taken away from us? Is this going to happen? And you got to just love some of the coaches. I think Josh has some of those things coming up, but some of these people speaking and talking, you might when it comes up, you might want to speak on it.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. The anticipation was really, really high.
And this is your new show, Runners Week.
Right here, this is it. It's shot in the home studio. Or actually, I can say you guys built this set to look like a Nob Hill 1950s
Well, you look very
dive.
professional. You got a ProView Network shirt on. I mean, it might be a little big, but you know we're working on that. So
Thank you. Good gear here at ProView. And thank you for that. Jeannie Garcia, the athletic director at Bosque Was a Riot, and Jackie Martinez from the NMAA. All of these people were accessible. They wanted to talk, and they had something to say. And they talked about all of the struggles that the runners had been through and the athletes and things that led up to this event. This was at Bosque School on February 27th. So it was full of anticipation and excitement, Steve. You're right.
no fans.
No fans. They were on the outside of the perimeter. Some of the runners said, yeah, I saw my mom. She was standing on the bridge over there. And they were outside the facilities trying to look in and just watch the runners go by. So they were trying to get a glimpse, but no fans. But that may change. We did have a few fans at the Academy football game that we did on Saturday. There were some people wandering around. So let's hope that they can get a limited amount in there. Either way, though, Steve, as you know, as you witnessed last March, the athletes don't care. Sure, it's nice if the fans are there, but they're going to play. They're going to play their best, and they still want to win, or in this case, turn in their best time or performance and carry on. So fans are great. We hope they return, because I miss the band, I miss the fans, the cheerleaders, the excitement, and they will. But for now, it's just good to be back, yes.
Well, there's a lot of compassion out there, and I heard people saying, well, I wish APS athletes were competing today. And that is kind of, in fruition, is going to happen. It's going to happen in probably next week. So good things are happening for the whole state, for student athletes, all the coaches, all the programs. And I think, you know, by the hopefully, right now, at one time, there was only 100 schools participating. Now, hopefully, there'll be 160 schools being able to get the last 3 months of their senior year in.
Yeah, that'll be really nice to get everybody involved again. And you mentioned the senior year of the kids. You got to feel for them if they haven't been able to turn in their performances and get some tape and maybe get some looks in college to go on. You know. And I really, really appreciate those private school kids are so nice. They're so well-rounded because you heard them talk about, oh, it's great to be here today, but I really feel sorry for my APS athletes who aren't able to run. So we're all in it together. Everybody's pulling for everybody. And we all just want to try to get back to some regular games, regular schedules, fans in the stands, championship events, and get back to the way things were.
Well, who won that? Who won those?
Sandia Prep won both of those events. They took first. Samantha, I think was her name, won the girls' race, and Naheem won the boys' race. So Sandia
Here we go,
Prep,
right here.
that's Manal there. Those are the girls' runners from Manal. See the blue there, that's Cuba. And the host team, Bosque, also runs in blue. And there you see them on the left there. And
What a
Sandia
pretty
Prep.
day.
Beautiful campus, beautiful day. Look at the blue sky. And also the wildlife that you have to contend with. You know, you'll see some geese up there on the far right, about 100 yards up on the right. And not only are there geese that they have to run through, but there was a porcupine in the tree above us. There are all kinds of wildlife in the cross-country thing. So it's beautiful. It was a great day to be out, and all of the other local media guys were there too. So I was happy to, you know, we have our media friends too that we miss that we don't get to see. So they're in the home, did win the boys race. There were your results there. That's Sandia Prep. That's Mac Manzanares in the foreground. Sandia Prep on the left there, Bosque in the blue. Only 3 teams ran in this boys event where the girls had 4. And that's Bosque on the far right. And there's Mac and Connor. They ran together pretty much the whole race. They kind of paced each other, but you'll notice the separation in the race as well. And one thing about this cross country, you see they're running with masks. That's one of the requirements. But look how far away he is from everyone. I might be a good suggestion to allow these runners where air intake is so important. There's Connor and Mac again. Where air intake is so important, maybe let the cross-country runners drop the mask once they get out into the field. I mean, look at all that separation. So there's Nahom. Taylor ran second the whole way, Chad, and then Mac came in 4th. So all 4 of those runners did score for their teams. And it was a good day. They all said it was weird to be out, a little rusty. The course was a little long, too. I don't know why that is. Maybe somebody goofed when they set it up, but they did measure it and admitted it and got the actual distance. So all things considered, Steve, it was a great day to be back and so nice to be back. So thank you again for putting me on track and field at Bosque School that Saturday morning.
Well, I'll tell you, you're moving up with ProView. You're getting more gigs, more things, and you've been working with Marty Seiss for the last year. Kind of speak on that for a few minutes.
Oh man, that's a whole other show. Maybe could I please come back and talk about that with the book that he's writing?
Just mention. I just want to mention his name because he's really unbelievable what y'all have done over the last year.
Well, thanks, but he really gets all the credit. What Marty's doing is Marty's writing a book on New Mexico basketball history. The state tournament, which we should be having right about now, would be the 100th anniversary. 1920 was the first New Mexico basketball tournament, so Marty figured it would be a great time to come up with a historic book about what's been going on. And so he's done that, and he's got everybody. We had interviews all summer. We went to Lordsburg. We were in Wagon Mound. We went down to Hobbs. We haven't made it up to Farmington yet, but we went all over northern
Don't forget
New
my
Mexico.
Clovis, okay?
We spent some great time over there in Clovis. And Steve, I learned some things about you that were pretty amazing. You were quite the player. You were quite the guy. And your coach, what a lucky guy. What a good old dude he is. So
Jimmy Joe Roberts.
Jimmy Joe. And Marty was able to get all these guys. If they're still alive and they had anything significant to do with New Mexico basketball, Marty got them. We had a nice interview. All of those interviews will be posted on his site, which will be released soon, NM Basketball History. And then the book, New Mexico Basketball History. Just the boys first. A lot of girls' history, too. He'll get to that. But right now, his book, New Mexico Boys Basketball History, will be out within a month or two. And it's fantastic. It's all there, Steve. And even you were there with those Clovis Wildcats.
Well, I just want people to understand you were the guy behind the scenes. I mean, you traveled with him. You guys, unbelievable, what y'all caught under tough circumstances. COVID, not being able to, letting him orchestrate and putting this together is going to be, and like we said, that's something that's going to come in the future. But the book's coming first, and then we're going to do a documentary on all those interviews.
The interviews are so good. There's one post, the way things are, what it takes to win. It's really a championship manual because the stories are fairly similar. You get the same kind of concepts: hard work, dedication, but that intangible thing that every championship team seems to have is that camaraderie, the love for each other. We didn't hear anybody all summer long talk about their championship and how they hated their teammates and couldn't stand to wait for the season to be over. They wanted to be there. They were dedicated. They had some luck and worked hard. But there are some amazing basketball stories about the way it was and the way it is, and just great. And so we worked around the restrictions. The video looks really, really good, Steve. The gyms were pristine. You know how they redo the floor every summer? Well, no one had been on these basketball floors. So here we are in the gyms, and it looks like fresh ice. It's just fantastic. So, and the people spoke willingly and honestly about sometimes difficult situations, mostly about the happy moments and what it was like to win and be part of a loving community like that. So, great book. Looking forward to it. So thanks for an opportunity to talk about that as well.
I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a little break, and we're going to come back and talk more about Runners Weekly and what's coming up this week.
Okay.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Steve Dave Show. Got Dana Childs. Actually started out as a camera guy with ProView Networks, moved his way up to announcer, and now he's a you're the handyman around ProView Networks. But I tell you what, just watching this Runners Weekly has been really exciting for me. Something that you and I talked about a year ago to get involved with, and it did happen in fruition. And before we get started on what's going to happen this week, you have a little bit of basketball history. Let's talk about your basketball. I mean, you were quite an athlete, and you went back last year, I do believe, or the year before, about your reunion, and kind of touch on that a little bit.
Well, thanks. Quickly, because really ProView, it's about the kids and the schools and their achievements, but it's nice to know that we have a crew here of broadcasters and dedicated people who have some athletic experience. And thanks for the opportunity. It all happened in Nebraska. Back in the wonderful late 1970s, which was a great time to be good and be involved in high school athletics because we didn't have all these other distractions. And the gyms were full, the stadiums were full. There was nothing else to do in Lincoln, Nebraska on Friday night. Go to the game, and they did. In fact, we had to have our crosstown games in the city auditorium downtown because the gyms weren't big enough to hold the crowds. When Lincoln East would play Lincoln Northeast, we had to go downtown. So, exciting environment. Football, All-State, went on to play at Nebraska for 1 year. Basketball was like a 3 on the team, but we did win the state tournament. And then in track, it was high hurdles, low hurdles, and mile relay, where I scored in the state meet and all of those. And we won the state track meet 2 years in a row. And again, that was all a long time ago, but it's so nice to have that background and be able to put it to use here at ProView in Albuquerque. And it's kind of nice because people don't know that I did all that. Oh, and I did get into the Hall of Fame, right? And 2 years ago, they called us back to induct our track team Hall of Fame as well. So I'm in as an individual and as a member of the track team that we won twice. So thanks for the opportunity, and no one here knows that. So, and that's kind of good. Really, I have to kind of reestablish a new reputation with you, starting as a cameraman and showing some dedication and wanting to be here. So it was kind of like a tryout. So I guess I made the team.
You made the
team,
thanks, and I tell you, you got my attention when you were thrown into the deal with the Senior Olympics. That was I think 2 summers ago, and you were thrown in, and by the end of the week, you had everybody talking about Dana. You knew everybody. You knew all the people. It was just really neat to see you just step up and.
Well, thank you.
Threw you in the fire one day before, no preparation, and by the end of the week, you were like the guy. And I just want to thank you for that great performance that you did on for the Senior Olympics.
Well, thanks. That was a riot. That was really fun seeing those elderly people, the geriatrics out there, still being involved in physical fitness and athletic competition. Sports, Steve, as you know, is something you can take with you all your life, and the lessons that you learn about the practice, the dedication, the sacrifice, the teamwork, you carry those with you throughout life. the things I learned in sports way back in Nebraska, I use here. You know, trying to get along with Josh and Jason and you and cooperate.
You try to get along with us?
Try to get along.
That's a tough ordeal.
You know, the things that you learn in school for the rest of your life. And they're valuable lessons. So,
well, let's get back on track. What do we got? What do we have? Talk about this weekend. I know you're excited about it. I mean, it's something little you're gonna actually do cross country.
Going to do another, as we did with the Senior Olympics. I'll do the commentary this weekend on a cross country meet out at Rio Rancho, and
starts at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we have boys and girls. It will be live on ProView and on the. No, it'll be just on the NFHS network live.
Yeah, so it'll be 9, and then it goes 9 to 10, and I think 11 to 12.
And
boys first, and then girls, if I'm correct.
At Bosque, they did it the other way around. They ran the girls first and then the boys. But everything is subject to change. They have the girls listed there at 11. So we'll go with that, and that's just fine. Excited because now we're getting some of the bigger schools in and getting more people involved. We've been to the Rio Rancho course before. We were out there last year for the state tournament. So it's a nice course for television purposes. It's good because there are not a lot of trees, so we can keep a pretty good eye.
You can get angle. You get the start. You can see the middle.
Exactly.
And you can see in the back end of it, and then you get to see the finish. And
exactly. And we can keep a better eye on the field and see if there's any movement. But not a lot of movement, as we saw in that first race last week. But the perspective we have, the course itself, and the way the Rio Rancho Athletic Department helps us get our broadcast on the air, it should be a good one. And I am looking forward to it. The same kind of anticipation is going to be there, Steve, as we had last week at Bosque, because this is the first chance that they've had to run. So anticipation, excitement, nerves, a lot of fun.
I want to thank, Ben Smetzger for making this happen. He's, we're going to be doing a lot of Rio Rancho. I think we have a double hitter that day. I do believe we have soccer later in that afternoon. So we're going to be there in the morning. We're going to be in soccer in the afternoon, and then this week we've got volleyball games. We got girls soccer and boys soccer. We're covering the whole Rio Rancho, and part of those 20 games I mentioned in the beginning of the show is going to be really tailored toward Rio Rancho. But we're going to still Friday night. We're still throwing in a big 8-man game. It's 8-man, I believe, is football, and it's going to be the defending state champions, Melrose against Manal, and we're excited to do that. So great. We're mostly APS, but since APS hadn't started, we're doing all the private schools.
And nice job picking that up, because normally we do. APS are the bigger schools, and so some of these smaller schools don't get a lot of airtime. And so how great that they're able to have the experience of being on ProView and the NFHS network.
Quickly, tell us when your show airs, and I know we're getting busy, and I know it's weekly, but we're maybe doing that bi-weekly, but real quickly, what time does it air on Comcast Channel 26?
It is subject to change, but right now our air date is Wednesday at 6 p.m. here on ProView Networks, Comcast 26.
That's probably going to change because we're going to have sports, but
most likely, and it is subject to change. And again, we're aiming for Wednesday at 6 p.m., and then you can also watch it on demand on our ProView Networks YouTube channel as well, and on Facebook.
Well, Dana, thanks a lot for being part of ProView Networks, and thanks for putting this show together.
My pleasure, Steve. Thank you for the opportunity.